call upon for the invocation Nicholas Preston from Life Church, and we'll follow that with the Pledge of Allegiance, if you all care to rise.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for this beautiful day that you've made. We thank you for your grace and your kindness and your mercy towards us. Lord, we continue to hold before you all those affected by the tragedies this last week here locally and nationally. Lord, I pray for the families that you'd be with them in this loss as they grieve and mourn, that you'd comfort them. Pray that you'd continue to just protect those here locally, Lord. I pray for this meeting tonight that there would be unity, Lord, and wisdom in the decision-making. Lord, help all those on the council and the mayor to have wisdom, Lord, and to guide this city. I pray that Fergus Falls would flourish and prosper in every way. Keep protecting the staff and all the employees who make this town go, Lord. So we thank you and we give it all to you. In your name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right, I will call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Here.
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 Here. Here. Here.
We have a quorum. The first item on the agenda is open forum. Anybody wishing to say anything, please come to the podium, state your name and the city in which you live.
Good afternoon. My name is Scott Murray. Live at 2406 Lakeview Drive here in the city of Fergus Falls. And if you're not familiar with where Lakeview Drive is, it's on the east side of town, about a block south of County 1. We border the north shore of Bright Lake. Now, between our house at 2406 and the house directly to the east at 2410 is a drainage easement. It's probably 70 feet wide. So the water runs down the gutter on both sides of the street. The north side goes into a drainage grate underneath the street, meets the drainage grate on the south curb, which then flows into a ditch that then flows into Wright Lake. Now, if you just drove by it, you wouldn't notice anything wrong with it. However, between the curb and about 10 feet to the south, there's a huge retaining wall that's timber. It's like railroad ties, but much bigger than that. And this retaining wall has probably been there for, well, our home was built in 1972, so it was probably before that. What's happened is the erosion has come between the dirt and the retaining wall, down between. It's starting to rot out the retaining wall. It's moved the retaining wall. So our concern is that if this continues, that retaining wall, which is probably, again, 30 feet tall, if it was to move, what happens to the dirt behind it, and how does that affect the road, and how does that affect the drainage? So about 3 years ago, somebody from the city came out and we spoke, showed it to them, and they agreed that this is an issue. But like everything else, it costs money. And I was told that the city can't fix it themselves because, one, we don't have the equipment, nor do we have the manpower. It had to be contracted out. So what we're asking today, and my neighbor is here as well from 2410, is that what's the next step? What do we need to do? Maybe a site visit, like a little field trip. I've got a bus out here. Just kidding. I don't know. What do we need to do to move this along that somebody can come look at? I'm not looking for an answer today because you just heard about this 2 minutes ago. What I did do is I put together a little packet for y'all, all y'all. Appropriate to bring it to you?
Yes, sure. It's a good place to start.
It's the best place.
And the guy in the blue across from him.
Just a photo.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's not good. Somebody's gonna get hurt there.
So, if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. It's never a big deal until it's a big deal. And some could happen to the road or whatever. But we don't, I would say little children could fall down in there, but no little children are on there right now. Questions, concerns? Sit down.
No, I would thank you for bringing this to our attention,
Thank you.
and it will get our attention. So thank you very much.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, do you want to enter?
I can just.
Oh, Kyle is just going to say something, Scott.
Yeah, what I'll say, Scott, is, and these types of things happen all the time, and so I'll get your information. We'll get a group together, we'll come look at it
Okay.
and see what the possible solutions are.
Sure.
And then maybe see what type of solution we can come up with
Okay.
to help you out.
To help, I'll send you an email with my contact information and all that.
Perfect.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Robin?
Okay. Robin Voss, Fergus Falls. Last meeting I spoke, and I did notice after I got up and spoke that when sitting down, I noticed an email from a city council member to an audience member rebuking what I had said. So I did look up. Does it violate open meeting laws if city council members communicate with electronics to other city council members and a resident in the audience during a meeting in Minnesota? Yes, if city council members communicate with each other using electronics during the meeting, it can violate Minnesota open meeting law, especially if a quorum is involved in the communication and it concerns public business.
So how do you know it was from one council member to another?
I did see the email, who it was from, and some of the
Thank you.
things rebuking after I spoke first. What the law prohibits, Minnesota open meeting law, Minnesota statutes, chapter 13D, requires that all meetings of a governmental body where a quorum is present and public business is discussed must be open to the public. The law is interpreted broadly to ensure transparency, clarity, and prevent decisions from being made outside of public view. A meeting is defined as any gathering of a quorum or more than the governmental body where they discuss public business. A gathering does not have to be in person. It can be conducted through interactive technology. The violation explained when a quorum of a city council communicates with each other via text, email, or other electronic means during a meeting, they are effectively holding a separate secret meeting. This violates the law for two main reasons: lack of public access. The public which is present at the physical meeting cannot observe or hear the electronic conversation. This undermines the core purpose of the open meeting law, that the public has the right to be informed about how decisions are made. Even if less than a quorum communicates with each other, it can still be a violation if communication designed to avoid the law's requirements. For example, if 3 council members of a 5-member council exchange texts in a sequence, it could be found to be a violation. So I just want to make sure that the policy, the laws are looked into and that this is adhered to for the public good.
Can we get a copy of the email? Robin?
Pardon?
I said,
I
we get-
cannot, but all I'm saying is that the Minnesota statutes is section 471.87.
If we
So I'm
can't get
just
the-
here
I know,
making
but if
sure
we can't get a copy
that
of the
this
email, we
is-
have nothing by which to kind of do anything about it, other than, as you say, ask council members not to do that.
Well, and follow up any policies or anything that the
Yep.
city charter has put forth on open meeting laws.
Right.
Just to make sure that they're being followed for
Okay.
the public's interest.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else on open meeting?
Hi, my name is Paul Hicks. I live on Fir, and I also, along with my wife, own Dandelion and Burdock downtown Fergus. As some of you know, we do events downtown called Dandelion Days, and we just did our last one Saturday. And so basically, we're just here to thank city staff for putting up with all our questions, Clark, I, and everybody else, Lynn Olson. I know you deal with a lot from us, and we appreciate it greatly. I know I've asked the police once. I'm pretty sure I've asked fire. I've asked everybody some kind of question, and you've all been very kind and helping us. And then also, I'd like to thank all the other downtown businesses. Chris is here, so I can pick on him. Elevate is fantastic and are always there for every single one of our events. Same with sort of Sugar High, Victor Lundine's, every downtown business. We all come together to try and create a better city for people to come into and enjoy. So I just was here to say thank you.
Thank you.
It was a great event.
Right. Anybody else on open forum? If not, then we will move on to approval of the agenda. The one item that we would like to move is under new business, item I1, RTC for documentary commissioned by Pioneer Public TV. We'd like to move that to the first item on the agenda because Bill Adams is here and he does need to leave. With that, is there any other amendments to the agenda? If not, would somebody care to make that motion? Thank you, Al. Would somebody care to second it?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Laura. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against? Hearing none, the agenda is approved. Right, so the first item on the agenda is a request for filming access into the RTC for a documentary commissioned by Pioneer Public TV based on Susan Foote Durenberger's book, The Crusades for Forgotten Souls. And we did include an email from Bill Adams regarding the filming of this, and that's in your packet. We did, in conversations with Bill, ask if they would be prepared to cover charges for any potential cleanup and chaperoning of kind of the film crew, and subject to obviously knowing exactly how much that would be. They would be in agreement to doing that. So with that, if somebody would kind of care to make a motion maybe to address it, and then we can get a second, and then we can talk about it.
I'll offer that.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Laurel. So, discussion on the subject of filming in the RTC.
I think it's a great idea. The only thing is about the mask. I mean, it's so bad in there. Are they aware of that, and they understand all that, how bad it is with the mold? I mean, I've talked about this numerous times about how bad it is in there. So do they understand that?
I think they're aware that it's pretty gross.
Okay.
There's areas that are worse.
Yeah, in the basement, of course, is the worst, but there's many spots that are not good.
Do you know, Bill, roughly what the duration of filming would be?
They're looking at a couple of hours.
Oh.
They would be filming some iconic pieces in the RTC, not just general film. The purpose is, of course, to bring the book alive.
Bill, would you mind just coming to the microphone? It isn't like you're adverse to public speaking.
One or two. I did bring a copy of the book with me, and it has the iconic photo of the Kirkbride on its cover. The book was published by the University of Minnesota Press in 2018, and when Susan was doing some initial research, she was searching for information about one of the people who was a resident at the Regional Treatment Center, voluntary commitment from 1929 until his death in 1955. So she came up and we had just an absolutely fantastic tour of the RTC, and it wasn't gross at that point. And then she had an opportunity to sit down and talk with several people who had worked at the RTC so that they could tell their stories about what it was like to take care of, as they put it, their friends and neighbors up there. And she received a request from this filmmaker, and this filmmaker, by the way, she's won 3 Emmys, so she's the real deal, and the person who will actually do the filming. And she said that they would do the filming with great courtesy to bring the history of the RTC alive and to include things about the community. They were particularly fascinated by the fact that the Center for the Arts has been holding concerts there, so they would like to get some footage of that as well to include it in this documentary. So they would be up there interior filming for maybe a couple of hours, and of course do some exterior filming as well. So that's what I know about it.
Thank you. Just out of interest, we had suggested a $100 per hour for chaperoning during the filming and $50 per hour for any cleaning. So, Scott?
I'm guessing you probably were aware of this because in your notes you referred to Chris Schulke and having spoken with him, who's a bottomless pit of information for this kind of thing for you, which is great. You mentioned also photographing outside, and there's a cemetery and poor farm tour coming up outdoors now on Saturday, October 21st. I don't know if that coincides with when you were planning to be here or not, but that would, just wanted to make sure you were aware of that as well.
Thank you.
Any further?
Mr. Adams, thank you. I think it's a great program that you're going to pull together. Who's actually contracting with the city to do this on a business side? Is it public TV or is it?
You know, my involvement with this is that I'm doing a favor for Susan Durenberger, and the extent of my knowledge will be a little bit small. What I believe it would be the production company who would be contracting with the city.
And I'm looking at the business side of it. I did some reading on this, and we'll have our city council make sure that there's a hold harmless agreement and appropriate insurance. And again, I would recommend a strong respirator, not just a mask. Thank you.
Any other comments? I think other than probably customary waivers and, from a health and safety and liability point of view, which would obviously all get handled by city staff.
Yep.
So with that, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, same sign. The motion is approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks, Bill. There are no public hearings. The first item under awarding of bids is a resolution waiving the requirement of having the non-collusion form with the bid, since it does not affect the actual bid price, and awarding of a contract to Flatland Enterprises LLC for their low bid of $915,489.68 for PI 5367, the Trunk Highway 210 Utility Relocation Project. And we'll call upon Kyle. And don't have to call because he's already there.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, City Council. So we opened bids for this project a week and a half ago. This is for the sewer and water relocation for the interchange roundabout project that's going to be happening next year. So bids were open. We got 3 bids on the project from Flatland, Celine Brothers, and Keekly. Those bids were $915,489 for Flatland, $915,837 for Celine Brothers, and $1,034,552 for Keekly Underground. Engineer's estimate on this project was $771,517. So bids came in slightly over the engineer's estimate. I did sit down with Bill to determine, again, funding for the project. And you can see there under the budgetary impact of the project. So we have $771,517 is the portion that MnDOT it would pay for the project under our agreement that we have approved already. So the additional funds would have to come from the city, and you can see there that those would come out of our water and sewer fund to pay for the project. This is an important project and does need to be done this fall to have this work completed prior to the significant road work that's going to be done next year. So we're looking for that resolution to award that contract.
Would somebody care to make that resolution, and we can discuss it?
I'll offer, Your Honor.
Thank you, Scott. Would somebody care to second it?
I'll second.
Thank you, Jim.
I have a question, Your Honor.
Yeah, go ahead.
What happened between the gap? I mean, what do you think it was? Because of late in season? Is that what you're thinking that it is?
I think it's late in the season, only had a few bidders. Yeah, we bid this in September, and, you know, it's got to be done in the next month and a half.
Right.
So that's.
Late in the year is always
late
not.
in the year,
not
yep.
good, yep.
Yep.
Your Honor, Kyle, what would happen if we said no and we rebid in the spring? How, do we really know when the state are going to do the actual work on the roundabouts?
I've got Alex here too from Interstate that did the project. As of right now, we don't know that. As of right now, that project is starting this spring. There's been no word or any indication that anything would be starting later than that. I think if we don't award and wait to do this work next spring, it would potentially cause some conflicts with the work that's being done with the road work.
So it can be done mutually, is what you're trying to say? Alex?
The state is anticipating an October bid with a spring completion. They are seeing their schedule is very aggressive, and so would have things to say if this got pushed to next spring. They would like the city out of the way first.
You said they would like to see the city do what?
Get their utilities out of the way before they start, because they don't have any extra time in their schedule.
I apologize, but I don't care.
All right. Roll call.
One more, Your Honor. Mr. Meyer, can you explain what the non-collusion form is and why this wasn't signed by this entity and why we're going above for this type of thing and didn't go to the next bidder?
Yep. So with the bid, as it was stated in the contract, or in the contracts for the bidders, that there was to be a non-collusion form, which is a form that just states that the contractor did not collude with any other of the contractors bidding on the project. That was not in the bid, and the bid was read, it was open, and then afterwards we were able to get the non-collusion form from the contractor, and we did visit with the city attorney's office on what to do, and this was their recommendation.
Just to go forward with it
Correct.
and everything. How rare is this to not have this in there? Is it just a one-off, or is this something that happens quite a bit? Because I would imagine these companies bid quite a bit. It should be a standard just done. I just want to know from my own sense of
is.
why that wasn't there.
Yeah, so based on different funding sources, there's different forms that are required with bids. So this form typically isn't always part of a bid package.
Okay.
And there's different forms that are part of bid packages, so they just missed it.
All right, with that, roll call.
Yes.
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 No.
Yes.
The resolution is approved. The next item on the agenda is PI 5855, the Lincoln Alley Avenues and Parking Lot Improvements bid. Over again to Kyle.
Okay, we opened bids with this project at the same time as the last project we just talked about. We had one bidder on the project. The base bid for the alleyway paving came in at $397,380. And the engineer's estimate on that portion of it was $276,325. We also included 3 alternates in there for the 3 parking lots, which if you go through those and compare those to the engineer's estimate, those came in a little bit closer, but still high on those projects as well. So all in all, if we were looking at doing the alleys along with the parking lots, we are about almost $180,000 above the engineer's estimate on the project. Again, probably because of the late bid and the short time frame to get the work completed. And we only had one bidder on the project. So what I'm looking at is, my recommendation is to not award the contract and look at bidding this with Cavor this winter and do that at the same time. It will leave some issues, though, with the parking lots the way that they are today. I've visited with Guy in the Public Works Department on getting some gravel in there and packing and shaping it in so that we can maintain those through the winter and the spring. Next spring will be an issue. It'll be a mess in there to get through that. But I think the type of savings that we're going to get by doing it this way will be significant. So that's my recommendation to the council.
Questions?
Question. Has anyone communicated with the chamber or the downtown businesses that we're looking at putting this off? Because this is probably going to be not the most welcome news to that group of people,
Correct.
rightfully so.
Correct. We have not, but we do need to go down and visit with them and talk to them about it. We are going, like I said, we're going to try and maintain it so that it's in the best shape that it can be through next spring. The winter won't be an issue, but my thought is to try and bid this two ways, where the alleyway work would be completed right away in the summer. We'd have the contractor come in and pave it right away versus waiting until all the utility work is finished in Cavor, because Cavor won't be paved until, it could be July, August, till that's paved.
Any other questions? Kyle?
Well, I think Mr. Meyer, I think it's refreshing to hear an engineer say, hey, maybe we don't need to do a project like that, because I was getting ready to kind of tell you maybe why I thought we didn't need to do it. If we did it this fall, what would be the timeline? Give me the date it would be done, or would it not be done this fall? Or if we waited till the spring, give me just the dates so I know exactly.
It would be done this fall. I think completion date on it was end of October. We did include an alternate to do it next year with this bid, thinking that we would get a deduct, but we did not get a deduct. It was actually an addition to, more expensive to do it next spring.
So you think, though, that this winter, once it freezes, gets in there, blades go through that alleyway, that it won't be that noticeable this winter, what's going on, and these parking lots we've had for 10, 15, 20 years the way they are, right?
The parking lots will be as they are. The issues are going to be in the alleyways. I think, once winter comes around, it freezes up. They'll be fine to drive on. The garbage trucks back there will be fine. The messy part will be, 6 weeks this spring when it melts.
And then you're going to tie these parking lots, if approved, into that Cavor. So you just do it in
Yep.
Cavor, come in,
And I
hit the
think-
parking lots, the whole works.
Correct. And I think with the amount of paving that would be on Cavor's project, coupled with this, now you've got a bigger project where I think we'll get some benefit from that.
Yeah, I'm going to be in support of waiting till the spring, rebidding with the Cavor, and the reason being is we took a heck of a hit here with just the 210 one that we just seen here this fall that we have no choice, we just had to do. I'd hate to take another big hit with this one too. It's almost $250,000 to $300,000 over what we thought we were going to spend. So I think if we can get some of that back in the spring, knowing that winter it isn't going to be affected, that's the route that I would go.
Would you care to make a motion to that effect?
Yes, Your Honor, I'll make the motion.
Second.
Sorry, that was Al. Second it?
I also thank you for that. You're looking out for our city and, more importantly, the taxpayer. Also talking about the alley back there, as we all know, it was treacherous prior to this starting date of this project, what was going on back there with the holes and the unevenness. So I think it's going to be not a real big issue this winter at all, because I do have an unpaved road next to my house, one of my cross streets, and that's actually smoother than the paved road. So you only have a little issue in the spring when it melts, and that will dry out, and maybe you could do some 3/4 plus rock back there if you needed to compensate for some of that mud. That'd be great.
Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, same sign.
It went the wrong way.
Oh, you want to do a resolution? So,
It's a resolution rejecting the bid, so we should have a
okay,
formal. So Mortensen?
Yep, I'll make that resolution.
thank you. And Al, will you
Second.
second it? So, okay,
Mortensen?
So, Your Honor, I want clarification if a no vote would be to shut the project
It's a
down.
positive resolution.
no,
Have to do a positive resolution.
the resolution was to reject the bid, so it would be a positive, so it's a yes.
Okay.
Good. Right.
Yes.
Rachel?
Yes.
Hildy?
Yes.
Fish?
Yes.
Joel?
Yes.
Kwame?
Yes.
Layton?
Yes.
Kramer?
Yes.
The resolution is approved, so thank you. The next item on the agenda is a positive thing for the city, because tonight we welcome our new police chief to our city, and we will conduct a swearing-in ceremony for Chief Justin Paul. And we'd just like to also, even though Kyle is absent this evening, we would also like to put on record that we want to thank Kyle for his 15-plus years of service as chief. And so with that, I will come down and see Justin. And Justin is here with his wife, Natalie. You will get the privilege of putting the badge on his chest. And she assures me that she's not going to sink it into his chest. So that's positive, because fortunately we do have a first responder in the room. And then maybe after he's sworn in, if council would like to come down and shake his hand, that would be great.
Should be okay unless you're gonna read it all at once.
Maybe let's go sideways.
Right, so raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Justin Paul, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the laws and ordinances of the city of Fergus Falls, and faithfully discharge the duties of police chief for the city of Fergus Falls, state of Minnesota, to the best of my judgment and ability. So help me God. Thank you. Natalie, if you would add and give him his badge. He's big and brave.
How long ago was that, Mark? I was wondering how long ago that was.
So I'll just say just a couple words.
Yep, that is perfectly fine.
Oh, just last night. This, this journey for us started, Natalie found the chief posting on the International Association of Chiefs of Police website. And, that's where this journey started. And a lot of it is about a community and about how you get treated. And that has always been important to me. And so when I came up here for the interviews, I was treated so well. And when I met the officers, treated so well. And that just means a lot. And so my commitment to you is that I will show you the same dignity, the same respect,
and this department in this city, it's very clear to me that they do what they feel like is the best that they can do to support the community. And so not necessarily everybody always agrees, and that's okay, but if you have a common purpose and a common goal, that's a good place to start. So we are incredibly excited to join this community and to be a part of it. And whether it's in the small business world or whether it's in the community, the different festivities and the festivals, and supporting the staff and the elected officials, we're just really excited for the next step. So thank you again for the warm welcome.
I want to add one word. When my husband told me that he was applying for Fergus and I had found the position, and I said, "Do you want to apply?" He said, "Yes, absolutely." And so when he got the chief position, it became real, and he said, "It has to feel right for our family." And he said, "Do you want to move? Because I'm a chiropractor and I have a business practice that I own in the Quad City that I started from the scratch, from the ground up, and now I see a lot of people, and I've been in practice 18 years." And so he said, "Do you want to start all over?" And I said, "Yes, absolutely," because I came from France, and I moved here in 2001, and I didn't speak any English, and I moved here, I took a plane, and I came here, and I started home 3 weeks later without understanding anything. And so I told my husband, "Let's do it." I don't have a problem. I will sell my practice, and I'll follow you anywhere.
Thank you and welcome. Right. The next item on the agenda is a proclamation declaring September 17th to the 23rd as Constitution Week. Whereas September 17, 2025 marks the 238th anniversary of the drafting of the Constitution of the United States of America by the Constitutional Convention, and whereas it is fitting and proper to accord official recognition to this document and its memorable anniversary, and to the patriotic celebrations which will commemorate the occasion, including the Bells Across America's event on Wednesday, September 17th at 4 p.m. here in the grounds of City Hall. And whereas Public Law 915 guarantees the issuing of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States of America designating September 17 through 23rd as Constitutional Week. And now, therefore, I, Anthony Hicks, by virtue of the authority vested in me as Mayor of the City of Fergus Falls, do hereby proclaim the week of September 17 through 23rd as Constitutional Week, and ask our citizens to affirm the ideals the framers of the Constitution had in 1787 by vigilantly protecting the freedoms guaranteed to us through the guardian of our liberties. In witness thereof, I hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the city to be affixed this 15th day of September of the year of our Lord 2025. And just for everybody's notice, the Constitution is at the back of the council chambers in City Hall. So with that, it's next door to Bob and Kayla. So thank you. Right, the next item on the agenda is the consent agenda, and a copy of that is posted on the screens. The motion approving the minutes from September 2nd, 2025, City Council meeting, work session, and the September 10, 2025, Committee of the Whole meeting. A motion approving licenses, a resolution accepting the construction and maintenance agreement between the city and Otter Valley Railroad Company, and accepting the funding agreement 1061011 between the city and MnDOT, the city project 9776, the Otter Valley Railroad Signal Replacement Project. A resolution approving the airport maintenance and operation grant agreement 1060312. A resolution declaring Unit Number 1 as surplus equipment and authorizing its disposal. A resolution approving the surface water inlet protection plan, and a motion directing the city attorney to draft amendments to the tobacco ordinance. If somebody would care to make that resolution.
I will offer that.
Thank you, Laura. Would somebody get a second? Thank you, Scott. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
The resolution is approved. The next item on the agenda, under F, ordinance and resolution, we just need somebody to introduce a first reading of the ordinance 74, 8th series tobacco. If somebody would care to introduce that.
I can do that.
Right, thank you, Laurel. I don't think there's anything more to do on that. The next item is the first reading of ordinance 69, 8th series standalone garages. If somebody would care to introduce that. Thank you, Al. The next item is a second reading of ordinance 73, 8th series cannabis business and sales hours, and that would require a roll call.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. The reading is approved. The next item is a resolution approving the 2026 preliminary budget in the amount of $56,510,508. Would somebody care to make that resolution?
I will make the resolution.
Thank you, Mark.
I will second that.
Thank you, Laura. Roll call.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
The resolution is approved. The next item is a resolution approving the 2026 preliminary levy in the amount of $9,279,000 even. Would somebody care to make that resolution?
I will make that resolution.
Thank you, Mark.
I will second that.
Thank you, Laura. Roll call.
Yes.
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 The resolution is approved. The next item is a resolution setting the 2026 budget and levy public meeting for December the 1st, 2025 at 6 p.m. or later in the City Council chambers. Would somebody care to make that resolution?
I'll offer that.
Thank you, Laurel. Would somebody care to second it?
I'll second.
Thank you, Jim. Trying to break the rhythm. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 The resolution is approved. The next item on the agenda is a resolution approving an economic development contract with Greenhouse South, James Lehman.
I'll offer that.
Thank you, thank you, Laurel. Thank you, Al. I think just, to give a little background on that, obviously the HR committee, obviously, this position was requested by the council, obviously, to add economic development to the city. We did advertise the position. We received several applicants, and included in that was also some applications for contracting the service as opposed to an employee. And after multiple meetings, the HR committee landed in the place of offering the contract to Jamie Lehman as subject, obviously, to council approval. And we believe that this will be a very good fit for the city. And if approved this evening, Jamie will be commencing work on behalf of the city on the 1st of October. So with that, Scott?
No, you gotta make a or get a, on the.
I think we have, we do, yeah.
So the whole committee is all in favor of this
Absolutely.
resolution?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It was by far an outstanding candidate.
I think, we've had, I'm going to call it 3 wins here tonight. We are saving a taxpayer $180,000 on an alleyway project. We got a new police chief, which is, he's stellar. As we looked at his portfolio there and his background. And tonight, this Dr. James Lehman is going to be a fabulous economic director. And I'm really excited for Fergus Falls. I'm excited for the people of Fergus Falls because he is talking about some major results here. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, one more question. Is this a one-year contract? Can it be done every year or 2 years? Or-
It's, there are performance within the contract itself, and it can be terminated at any time should he not perform, or should we not believe he's performing.
Okay, thank you.
So,
Can I say that?
Sure.
I mean, reading this, that just to have those KPIs that he has set for himself, I really appreciate that.
get goosebumps thinking about that, do you?
Yeah, I mean, this is not something that you guys had set in place. I mean, this was his proposal.
That's a very good point, Laura, because he did it. It's
Right.
his goals,
Right.
and we are going to benefit.
Scott?
Right. No, you go.
I think it would be helpful for us to know why it was a independent contractor arrangement rather than an employee arrangement, if you could flesh that out a little bit. We were, I think most of us expecting this to be an employee deal, and so if you could just give a little background on that decision, please.
Basically, this gentleman could not commit 40 hours a week, based out of Fergus Hall City Hall. And from a budget perspective, this is going to cost us less money than ultimately if we had gone down the road of an employee with benefits.
Can I speak to that too, Your Honor? Based on who we interviewed, I mean, to be clear, when the mayor said we had people that applied to do contract work, this individual applied as an employee. We didn't start with him as a contractor. We ended up there. But further than that, I mean, our group, I think, including our city administrator, felt like we were going to get more from this gentleman under a contract than we were from the other individuals that applied for this job as employees full-time. So we, I think, are unanimously, and I don't want to speak for Andrew, but I think everyone is on the same page. This is the best thing from Fergus based on what we were presented.
And he's looking to be in City Hall and set up individual meetings with council members to get their input of what they perceive they would like to see him work on as a priority. His goals are initially to get to existing businesses as much as creating new contract leads.
Your Honor, I just add a couple of things, and I want to thank you immensely for allowing me to be part of that committee. I think the whole council knows that economic development is why I'm sitting here. And to answer to Mr. Kwame's question, if I was sitting here tonight and I looked at this and we went from hiring an employee to a contract like this, I'd be like, what happened? This is not what we were looking for. And it's exactly what I wasn't envisioning on my end at all. But there comes a time when you're going through applicants, and all of them are very good, that you see an applicant that is just way above. And what we had to do, and what I felt that I had to do as support of the others that were on the committee, is I had to make sure that we were doing the best for this city. And I think there's times when you get an individual of this caliber that will work at a different level than maybe just an employee in the city. We had to take a chance on it. This is the first time this city has taken this type of a route for economic development that I know of. This is a completely different model than what the city's ever had in the past. It's a completely different model than Greater Fergus Falls. When we were sitting there in the committee room talking about it, a couple of things that I said to the committee is I'm looking for a person that can do two things for our city. One of them is walk downtown and put his arm around a small business and say, hey, we're going to do this together. And also someone that could walk into the boardroom of Lowe's, Menards, or somebody else and be comfortable. And that's what this individual is. I think when you see his academic and you see his professional credentials come out, I think you'll see why this committee was overwhelmed by this individual. So it's not the exact route we were going, but it's the route that I think was best for the city of Fergus Falls. One of the last things was, we didn't change in midstream and start looking for a contract with an organization. This individual was in the applicant pool, and we had to change our position to make sure we landed the best candidate with it. So I'm going to support this individual as much as I can, and I encourage the city and everybody else involved in economic development to do the same. This is exactly why I want it on the council right here. Exactly.
Thank you. I want to express my personal appreciation to Dr. Mortensen, council member. He started this project 2.5, 3 years ago. It's been a hard road. I was fortunate to stand by his side and watch him. This is a huge advancement for the city of Fergus Falls, and it will reward us with future growth. Thank you, Dr. Mortensen.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 The resolution is approved. The next item on the agenda is a presentation of claims in the amount of $1,051,876.61. If somebody would care to make that resolution.
I'll offer the resolution to pay the bills.
Thank you, Jim. Would somebody care to second it?
I'll second.
Thank you, Scott. Rachel's. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 The resolution is approved. There is no old or unfinished business. Under new business, we've dealt with the RTC. The next item is a resolution changing the name of the Fergus Falls Municipal Airport, Ina Mickelson Field, to Fergus Falls Regional Airport. And just a little background on why this request is in front of council. We did have obviously a presentation by the airport management, the committee of the whole, and the airport is looking at gaining regional status under FAA regulation, and the current name of Fergus Falls Municipal Airport, Ina Mickelson Field, is obviously focuses on Fergus Falls and Fergus Falls alone, as opposed to broadening the net to look at a regional position. And we're also looking at working with Perham Airport and Ottawa County on making a regional airport district, which will give us access to additional federal funding for the airports, and equally spread the financial burden of the Fergus Falls Airport to the county as opposed to the city. Obviously, you know, the name to the airport was, you know, created because it was one of the famous flying tigers, a naval aviator who lost his life during World War II, flying combat missions against Japan in Burma, and then assisted the Chinese National Aviation Corps. But he obviously was linked to Fergus Falls. But what I would say is that what the airport is looking at was to put a memorial plaque of some description to honor Ina Mickelson. But we are not the first airport to do something like this. As we all know, and as I am hopefully going to do tomorrow, is fly out of the MSP in Minneapolis. And for those of you that know, you won't be surprised to know that, in fact, Minneapolis Airport was known as Wald Chamberlain Field. And it was named after a famous World War I pilot, brothers. It then changed its name to Hubert Humphrey Airport. And then they added the Lindbergh Terminal, and that created a lot of confusion between pilots as when they landed. And then it got changed to Minneapolis and St. Paul Metropolitan Airport. And again, that was then changed to Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport, which is what it's known today. And I think that all those name changes reflected the purpose of what that airport is. And we are asking this evening to do something similar. You know, we've tonight appointed somebody to work on economic development for our city and our community. And the airport is a gateway to our community, and therefore we would like to change the name to reflect that we as a region are open for business and not be parochial about looking at it in a small way. with that, I would look to a resolution to make the name change, and then we can comment after that.
I'll make a resolution,
I'll second it.
Thank you, Laurel. Thank you, Mark.
and I'd like to offer an amendment to that resolution if the council would be okay with that, to look at, have the Airport Commission possibly working with the HPC board to look at using the Einar Mickelson name, possibly to name the terminal and/or the road in front of it, to keep that name in the public view, maybe more so than a plaque. Hopefully, if we maybe had a sign on the building, the terminal or the road, more people would be directed to look at the plaque and be aware of it.
Would you be agreeable to that, Mark?
I would rather have the airport management handle that, as they indicated the last time. I struggle with it.
Right. Scott?
I'll second it.
Scott will
So if
second
you
it.
rescind
I
your
don't know if
second,
that
I'll
works.
second it.
We have a second. I don't know whether we can. Mark has a, we have a resolution to change the name, and Mark seconded.
I think you
We have
I can
a
withdraw
resolution
mine.
on the floor and then a motion to amend that resolution. There is no second. I haven't heard a second. You could vote separately on the amendment resolution, or the amendment motion. So somebody seconds that motion.
Scott
The
did.
council can vote whether or not.
Scott did.
Okay. So now the council can vote on that motion as to whether or not to amend the initial resolution. that's on the floor.
You're going to split it into two?
Sorry?
You're going to split it into two different votes? Yeah?
I believe so.
Yeah.
So we're voting on the amendment, which would be to change the name and look at adding the name Einar Mickelson to the terminal or the road in front of it. So that would be the first item we're going to
And/or the
vote
road.
on.
Can I say something?
Yep.
Laurel, would you be up for, as far as right now, to get the name changed now, and then maybe let's look at, maybe have the airport?
Yeah,
board-
that's what I said, work
and-
with the airport or the
and-
HPC.
Because I think there might be
Absolutely.
other ways too to put something in that,
Yep.
in that terminal there, like maybe something that, one of the local businesses, we could get maybe a picture of maybe this Einar Mickelson, kind of in the day, and basically have kind of a whole wall of
I'm
it
open.
done,
I was
so-
just trying to come up with ways to do it that it was still public facing,
Yeah.
more so than just a plaque.
Yeah, I agree with something more than just that, so.
So the first item then we're voting on is to basically change the name and add some form of recognition, either the terminal name or the road name. So it'll be a roll call.
No, this
I don't-
one-
This would
will
be,
just
okay, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against, same sign.
Aye.
And so the motion is approved.
So the resolution has been amended and now you can vote on the resolution.
So now it will be a roll call for the resolution. To change the name and add to that resolution that there will be some more than just a plaque on the wall. There will be some display, a terminal name, roadway name. The roadway, I will add, may be difficult because that's a county GIS issue. So, and it's called Airport Drive currently. So, roll call.
Yes?
Yes.
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 Abstain.
Yes.
The resolution is approved. Under miscellaneous items, we have a September 29th, 5 o'clock town hall meeting. We have October 1st, 7 a.m., a committee of the whole. October 6th, 5:30 p.m., a city council meeting. And I think Gail has something that regarding, help me, Gail. What?
A potluck.
Welcoming week. Yes.
Thank you, Mayor, Council people. I'm here on behalf of the Sunrise and Noon Rotary Clubs to invite you all to the second annual Gathering at the River, a multicultural potluck open to everyone. That's going to be tomorrow evening, Tuesday, September 16th, from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at Speece Park. Bring your favorite ethnic food, like your grandma's best hot dish or Jell-O salad. I personally will bring lefse. And if you could bring your own plates and silverware, that would be fantastic too, but we will have extra for people who forget. So again, tomorrow evening at 5:30 at Speece Park. We'd love to see you there.
All right.
And it is part of Welcoming Week, so thank you.
Your Honor, I've asked at the last committee of the whole meeting in regards to the town hall meeting, could we move that to 6:30?
I think, well, I think we should discuss that, let's put it on the committee of the whole. Well, yeah, but I think for this one, we'll leave it at 5 o'clock, and then I think put it on the committee of the whole to discuss what we want to do going forward.
Thank you.
Thank you. With that, we are adjourned, so.